is News 3 Now at 6.
Thanks for joining us. Hopefully your Saturday morning plans include sleeping in. It'll be a cold start to the weekend.
We do have an alert day in the forecast for frost. Let's check your certified most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti.
Well, Charlotte, we've been talking about this for the last couple of days, so if you want to keep those plants protected, cover them up tonight before you go to bed. Otherwise, it'll be an early morning start for you. Let's start out by taking a look at the live view from the WIC Skycam. You can see a few more breaks in the clouds here on the west side of Madison, but out to the west, the Platteville-Quimby radio Skycam shows more sunshine, and it's that clearing that'll work in here later on tonight and allow those temperatures to drop off. A few sprinkles of rain out in eastern Wisconsin, nothing that'll affect us right now. High temperatures today made it up into the upper 40s to the lower to middle 50s. Madison topped out at 53. Janesville hit 55. But right now, temperatures are already in the upper 40s in Madison, still in the middle 50s in Janesville. But the farther north you go and east, the cooler the temperatures get. And there are freeze warnings in effect north of Wisconsin Dells, where temperatures could dip in the upper 20s. We'll be in the lower to middle 30s elsewhere with a widespread frost expected. Low in Madison dropping to about 32. Tomorrow, some clouds later in the afternoon with a high of 56. Could be a shower south of Madison on Mother's Day Sunday, but we will see a warm up next week. I'll have more details on that in just a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. Pfizer is starting the process now to become the first vaccine maker in the U.S. to get full FDA approval for its COVID shot, not just emergency use authorization. Medical experts say this will help boost confidence among people who are on the fence about getting vaccinated. So far, 170 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine have been distributed across the U.S. The FDA requires companies to submit data on the manufacturing process, facilities, and additional information that demonstrates the vaccine can be produced reliably and consistently. They also have to submit all preclinical and clinical trial data. At the same time, Pfizer is applying to expand its emergency use authorization in hopes of making the shot available to children ages 12 to 15.
Across Wisconsin today, health officials confirmed 662 new COVID cases. The 7-day average has dropped to 588. 7 more people have died and 63 more have been hospitalized in just the past 24 hours. Almost 36.5% of Wisconsinites are now fully vaccinated. 44% of people have gotten at least one dose. Dane County is moving closer to half of all residents being fully vaccinated. 48% of people have completed their vaccination series. The county also leads the state in the percent of residents who are at least partially vaccinated. Almost 61% have gotten at least one dose. People continue to get vaccinated every day, but we are still not quite at herd immunity level.
And vaccination rates have been slowing in the past few weeks, which leads to the question, what if we never reach herd immunity? Jamie Perez spoke with doctors today about that and joins us now to explain. Jamie?
Right, well, public health says that our elderly population is actually leading by example, with 93.4% of those 65 and older having already received one dose, and 88.8% of them are fully vaccinated. Now, if we never reach herd immunity from the other groups who still need those vaccines, doctors say it's most important that the most vulnerable people do get their shots, which is something that we are already on the right path on here in Dane County.
It's not necessarily the case that once you hit this level, we'll see exactly this number of cases. But what we do know is the higher coverage we get, the fewer cases we'll see. So we're on a good trajectory, and summer is still looking really, really promising.
Their biggest concern is just getting as many people vaccinated as possible to a point where our case numbers are so low that we can return to normal, which, as you just heard, we will get closer to the sooner that we can get everybody vaccinated.
Jamie Perez live tonight. Jamie, thank you. A federal grand jury has now indicted former Minneapolis officer Derek Chauvin just weeks after being convicted on state charges for the murder of George Floyd. The 3-count federal indictment accuses Chauvin and 3 other former officers of violating George Floyd's civil rights, including the right to be free from unreasonable seizure and excessive force. All 4 are also charged with their failure to provide Floyd with medical care. Chauvin was also charged in a second indictment stemming from the arrest and neck restraint of a 14-year-old boy back in 2017.
Today at the Capitol, the 31st annual Wisconsin Law Enforcement Ceremony paid tribute to those lost in the line of duty.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars
6 more names are now added to the memorial, including Dane County Sheriff's Deputy Richard Treadwell, who contracted COVID-19 while on duty and died last August. A retired chief from Calumet County spoke about one of her officers and a young trainee who were killed in 2002 when someone intentionally hit their squad car, and how it felt to gather at the memorial in the wake of their deaths with a sea of other officers.
As tears ran down my cheeks that day, I felt a little weak in my knees. But it was at that moment that I realized that this memorial is much more than a granite monument. It's a place that holds each officer's story. It's a place where the person behind the badge will be forever remembered.
Last year's ceremony was canceled due to COVID-19, so line-of-duty deaths from 2019 were also part of the honor roll. Milwaukee police officer Matthew Rittner, who was shot by a suspect while conducting a search warrant, and Racine police officer John Hetland, who took action and intervened in an armed robbery while he was off duty. National Police Week begins on Sunday. Governor Evers has ordered flags to half staff on the final day of the week, Saturday, May 15th, which is National Peace Officers Memorial Day. Dane County's outgoing sheriff hopes law enforcement will embrace changes and reforms after a tumultuous year, but sees it as an opportunity, not a challenge. Today, Sheriff Dave Mahoney officially retires. Brady Mallory has a look at his last words to his colleagues today as he hangs up his badge for good.
Well, Mahoney has spent 41 years in law enforcement. In fact, when he started, he was 19 and wasn't even old enough to buy a gun. He had to have his mom do it for him. Well, since then, he's worked as a detective, specializing in areas of domestic violence, narcotics, and homicide. As Dane County Sheriff, Mahoney pushed hard for better treatment for those battling addiction and mental health issues, plus a new jail. Today, at his going-away party, he talked about what he'll miss most, his colleagues and the people he served.
And to all of you, for being here today. It means a lot. Because it's you and 570,000 citizens that I come to work every day. You make me proud.
Mahoney will move into a new role as Director of Strategy and Support within the Protective Services Division at American Family Insurance. Incoming Sheriff Calvin Barrett is officially sworn in on Monday.
Brady, thank you. Now, you may not be able to name all or even most of Wisconsin's Supreme Court justices, but after a chaotic year of legal rulings, one name is becoming quite familiar.
Backed by conservatives, Justin Brian Hagedorn emerged as a swing vote this past year. He sits down with investigative reporter Naomi Coles to look back.
Good judges are going to reach outcomes that they don't like. If they're not, they're doing their job.
You'll find that idea a lot in Justice Brian Hagedorn's opinions over the past year. His votes have a political impact, but under his judicial philosophy, that doesn't matter.
I wasn't thinking at all about whether we ought to have a face mask order, whether it's good or bad, or whether I liked it or didn't like it. I was looking at the governor's emergency powers under the statute and how those read.
He describes himself as an originalist and a textualist, meaning he uses the letter of the law in the context of its original meaning to make decisions.
Whatever you're doing when you're deciding these cases always needs to be checked by, is this a faithful effort to apply the law that's actually there.
A Marquette University professor who studies Supreme Court statistics found that in the 2020-2021 cycle, Hagedorn was in the majority on every 4-3 decision.
They can't win without him.
He aligned with both liberals and conservatives in some of the court's highest profile cases last year.
And for a number of years, the conservatives always had a reliable majority. And so it's an entirely different landscape.
They call you a swing justice. Do you like that term?
I don't call myself that. I just kind of go to work and try to do my job. And that sometimes leads to outcomes that some members of the political spectrum may like, and other times leads to outcomes that the other side may like, because laws aren't only written by one side.
You could go even farther and maybe call him a crucial vote, so far. I mean, it's been remarkable. Every single 4-3 case has needed him.
Crucial decisions include several major election lawsuits attempting to overthrow the November election. He sided with liberals on all of them, in one place writing, quote, "The campaign is challenging the rule book adopted before the season began."
You were clearly watching football as you were writing that.
That was a unique weekend, certainly. Some Little Caesars pizza and staying at Chambers awfully late.
Ultimately, he does believe there's danger the court has become a political instrument.
That's not how our founders designed the system to work.
But says it's part of a larger political problem.
And the way we talk about a lot of things is broken. Treating people with the dignity and respect that all people ought to be treated with. I hope that becomes a greater part of our culture, which is so tribalized and so polarized.
Now, coming up on this Sunday's For the Record, you can listen to more of that conversation with Naomi and Justice Hagedorn after CBS's Face the Nation. They will get into the details of Hagedorn's decisions and why he votes the way he does.
And coming up next at 6, the Beloit Snappers are gearing up to open their new downtown stadium later this summer, and with it are some new menu items. We'll take a look at the new rib sandwich, the brachos, and the tacos, Charlotte. We're going to break it all down next. Stay with us.
And perennials are now available at Jung Garden Center. Start your spring planting season off right and shop our huge selection today. Beautify your home and gardens. Open 7 days a week. Shop Jung Garden Center for all your gardening needs.
For those who rolled up their sleeves and built the perfect yard this spring, it's time to head back to Blaine's Farm and Fleet for great deals on everything you need to keep your lawn looking sharp for summer. Like Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, $46.99. GrubX Season-Long Grub Killer, $24.99. Blaine's Rewards members get a $15 gift card with every $75 Scott's purchase. And Rewards members also get a $5 gift card with every $30 spent on Miracle Grow products.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Looks like they finally got rid of that trip hazard. They pump it full of mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Where are the patched holes? Where's the splashed mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Concrete lifting technologies can quickly raise and level any concrete surface using cutting-edge foam technology made in Wisconsin. Fast and accurate and eco-friendly.
How did those guys do it? Where are the holes? Where's the mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
.com.
The light at the end of the tunnel isn't shining so brightly for everyone. Families continue to fight for survival. Some jobs are gone forever. Bills pile up. But please know, you have not been forgotten. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
Annuals and perennials are now available at Jung Garden Center. Start your spring planting season off right and shop our huge selection today. Beautify your home and gardens. Open 7 days a week. Shop Jung Garden Center for all your gardening needs.
The Madison Museum of Contemporary Art's annual Art Fair on the Square has been tentatively rescheduled for late September. The event usually happens the second full weekend of July, but organizers are moving it back to proceed with caution amid the pandemic. They hope public health guidance will deem conditions safe for large outdoor events like this by the fall. Art Fair on the Square is Momoka's largest fundraiser, drawing nearly 200,000 visitors to the square each summer and generating about $25 million for the local economy.
As the Beloit Snappers prepare to open their new stadium, they're introducing a new menu. New items include a short rib sandwich, a Kobe beef hot dog, a 9-inch Clements brat, along with brachos, which are brat nachos, and chicken street tacos as well. They're also offering some new beverages, including blueberry lemonade, and taking an old Wisconsin favorite, the old-fashioned, and freezing it. And if you want some of the baseball game favorites, don't worry, they'll still be serving those.
We really want to bring a premium experience on the food and beverage side to the general fan. Like I said, we'll have the normal popcorn, Cracker Jacks, peanuts, things like that you expect at a ballpark, but we want to really, elevate and take it to the next level.
The Snappers will have a home game on Tuesday, and the new items will be on the menu. The new stadium in downtown Beloit set to open sometime in the middle of the summer. And the Madison Mallards plan to open seating sections for fans who are fully vaccinated. They can choose between spots in the grandstand or a general admission section in the duck blind. Seats in the designated areas will not be socially distanced, but will be a safe distance from unvaccinated sections. Proof of full vaccination and a photo ID will be required upon entry, and no children will be allowed. Tickets will go on sale May 15th.
Still ahead at 6, UW-Madison School of Medicine and Public Health congratulated the class of 2021 today. We will share the story of one graduate who found new inspiration to enter this field after becoming a patient herself. And a cold start to the day tomorrow, but the sun will warm temperatures a bit. Gary will have the details in your First Warn forecast.
Tonight on CBS, it's a full night of action and drama, starting with MacGyver at 7. Then it's Magnum P.I. at 8, followed by Blue Bloods at 9. Then get a complete wrap-up of the day's news on News 3 Now at 10.
The lowest prices of the season sale at Ashley Home Store is here. Our hottest new looks are all on sale. Spring doorbusters are up to 60% off. Plus, take a bonus 10% off our furniture sale prices at checkout and no interest financing for 3 years. Ashley Home Store.
Here in the Midwest, community is important.
Having a healthcare system that's looking out for us,
That's actively addressing the racial disparities in healthcare is important.
When we can get good quality care, we can do more. We can achieve more.
we can be the kind of community we want to be, and that's really important.
UWHealth. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Isn't it great how swinging through Culver's drive-thru marks the unofficial start to family time? How biting into a hot-off-the-grill Butterburger makes worries melt away? And how a fresh frozen custard concrete mixer puts a smile on your face every time? Here, a meal you didn't have to make is a meal made fresh for you. And being greeted with a smile, even beneath a mask, makes all the difference.
There's a reason we put so much care into our food. That reason is you. Welcome to Delicious.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
Power Centers of Madison. Visit powercentersofmedicine.com.
Keep your home comfortable with help from Menards. Protect your home from humidity, mold, and mildew with a Polonus dehumidifier. This easy-to-use unit can remove up to 30 pints of water from the air per day and is now $129.99 after 11% rebate. Check out our selection of Morton water softeners. Eliminate hard water, leaving you with softer skin and cleaner clothes. Right now, all Morton water softeners are 11% off at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Don't overcomplicate things with fake review sites and mystery brands. Let Ashley Home Store make sleep simple. Select a custom-fit best mattress personalized just for you by factory-trained sleep experts. Piece of cake. Sleep made simple. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Patience and passion are two things every gymnast needs to perfect their sport.
And they are what a Wisconsin doctor relied on to balance the stresses of life and med school.
I love to tumble. I love how it's fast and powerful and it's super fun.
Gymnastics has always been part of Melissa Barron's life.
I don't remember a time that I wasn't doing gymnastics.
She started competing at age 8 and coaching in high school.
And I saw a lot of my athletes getting injured. And I was really fascinated about how doctors diagnosed injuries.
A curiosity that influenced her future career, one that led her to enroll in UW School of Medicine and Public Health.
Medical school is incredibly challenging, and I think it's really similar to gymnastics. You spend so much time training, but you know it's worth it when you put those skills and those routines together.
She showcased her talents on the UW club team.
We were doing a meet in Minnesota. I went out and I did gymnastics like it was the last time I was going to do it.
That's because she was scheduled to have neurosurgery the following month.
I noticed every time I did a handstand, I got a headache. My brain is the wrong shape. It doesn't fit well in my skull, and because of that, it's causing holes in my spinal cord.
A part of UW Hospital she was familiar with.
So I had done a rotation in neurosurgery, but it was surreal because I had gone from going around and seeing patients in the neuro ICU to now being in the bed.
Melissa took a year off of medical school to recover, instead learning from her own experience.
It taught me, I think, just that feeling of uncertainty.
Melissa Barron.
Relying on the passion and perseverance at the core of every gymnast.
I hope that this has been good preparation for me to be very compassionate for my patients.
Melissa was one of the dozens of people who graduated from UW-Madison School of Medicine and Public Health today. She'll soon join American Family Children's Hospital as a first-year resident. And thanks to help from a physical therapist, she is actually still able to compete as a gymnast.
And here's Gary Canalti with your certified most accurate forecast. Gary.
Well, getting ready for some frost tonight over most of our viewing area. We have an alert day in the forecast for tomorrow morning for that widespread frost. But areas north of Wisconsin Dells might be cold enough to see temperatures dip into the upper 20s where a hard freeze is a possibility, but at least down to about 32 here in Madison. The cloud cover will keep our temperatures up a bit for tomorrow night, but we could be in the mid-30s again for Sunday night and Monday night with the possibility for at least some scattered areas of frost, especially in low-lying areas. Tonight, freeze warnings in effect for the northern parts of our viewing area up into northeastern Wisconsin, much of the northern portion of lower Michigan, and then frost advisories including Madison down toward Chicago and Rockford, and that will be overnight into early tomorrow morning. Doppler track right now, just a few sprinkles left over in far southeast or far eastern Wisconsin up into Door County. The rest of the state is dry and skies are clearing out to the west. So 3 things you need to know in the forecast. That cool weather is going to stick around this weekend. High temperatures only in the middle 50s for both Saturday and Sunday, and it will continue early next week, probably middle 50s for Monday, but then we start a warming trend after that. It'll be chilly enough for that frost possibility for Sunday night and Monday night as well, so keep an eye on the forecast. We'll put an alert day in if it becomes more apparent that we're going to see more widespread frost. And then the 70s return by the end of next week, most likely Saturday into Sunday of next weekend with some shower and thunderstorm chances. Temperatures right now are in the 40s, lower 40s up in upper Michigan, but to the middle 80s over parts of western Kansas. So we've got that big temperature contrast. The upper level winds right now from the northwest right in between. So that's kind of the dividing line between the cooler weather to the northeast and the warmer weather to the south and west. The next weather system moving into Colorado and parts of Texas, New Mexico, some showers and thunderstorms. As that system moves eastward, it'll bring clouds here, but most of the rain will probably be pushed down to the south of us, and that's because we'll have a dry easterly wind flow. Right now, clouds across much of the state are starting to break up to the west. Skies are pretty clear across much of Minnesota and Iowa. A cold front has pushed down to the south of us, just kind of reinforcing the cold air. The center of high pressure is located just north of Minnesota, and as that moves overhead tonight, the winds will lighten up, and that, coupled with the clear skies, will allow those temperatures to drop off. They're already in the middle 40s over northeastern Wisconsin, around 50 in Madison, still middle 50s over southwestern parts of the state. But as those clouds clear away tonight with those light northerly winds, and look for temperatures to drop off into the lower 30s. Tomorrow, the clouds move back by late afternoon, but notice how the shower chances stay mainly to the south of Madison. Better chances for rain will be across northern Illinois, and then we'll see more clouds on Sunday, maybe a sprinkle or two in a spot, but better weather arrives by Monday. Freeze warning north of the Dells, frost advisory elsewhere through early tomorrow morning beginning at midnight. Look for a low tonight of 32 in Madison as skies clear out, and then for tomorrow, start out with some sunshine. Clouds move in late in the afternoon with a high temperature of 56. 7 to 10 day forecast. Look for temperatures to still be in the mid-50s Monday, but get into low 60s Tuesday, mid-60s by the middle of next week, and around 70 by the end of the week with some shower and thunderstorm chances, especially toward the end of next weekend.
And coming up in sports, Kelly Sheffield got another boost to next year's volleyball roster, which Badger decided to come back for another run. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Kopke's Greenhouse is open for the spring season. Shop our expansive facility for veggies, herbs, flowers, succulents, and much more. Kopke's Greenhouse. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay green.
It's a fact. We use our internet and TV more than ever, with most of us spending nearly 7 hours a day online. So it's no wonder thousands of families are switching to Spectrum, because most families have up to 8 connected devices, which means they need even more speed. Switch to Spectrum Internet and get the fastest starting speeds for the price. 200 megabits for just $44.99 a month, with a free modem and free security suite included. Call 833-546-4499. When it comes to TV, we're watching more than ever. In fact, 80% of us watch TV every day. Spectrum TV lets you catch all your favorite sports, news, and more live. Plus, download the free Spectrum TV app and watch on your devices. Switch to Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-546-4499. The fact is, Spectrum has the best services at the best price. Switch to Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each with no contracts. We'll even buy out your current contract. Call 833-546-4499.
I am crushing this to-do list.
Let me see. Smart home upgrade? Home gym?
Check.
What about the window, siding, and doors?
Good things come in threes, like 33% off windows, siding, and doors. Plus, no interest until 2022.
33% off windows, siding, and doors ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feltco.
Do you suffer from ED? Did you know there could be a way to relieve ED without harmful medications, needles, or surgery? Peak Performance for Men is here to help. Click or call now to treat your ED. And remember, our results make the difference.
Kopke's Greenhouse is open for the spring season. Shop our expansive facility for veggies, herbs, flowers, succulents, and much more. Kopke's Greenhouse. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay green.
Hi, folks. We have a special show Monday on News 3 Now this morning. We're live at the Memorial Union to mark the reopening of the terrace to the public.
Help us celebrate the return of summer on the terrace. We'll see you starting at 4:30 Monday for News 3 Now this morning.
After losing to Texas in the Final Four, it became decision time for Wisconsin volleyball's 8 seniors. And so far, it's been turning up aces for Kelly Sheffield because on paper, UW looks to be loaded again. Grace Loberg is the latest Badger to announce she's coming back for another run, which makes it so far 4 seniors returning for their free year of eligibility next season. 4-time All-American Dana Retke hasn't made her decision just yet. The Badger wrestling team also getting a boost to their lineup. Wisconsin made it official, announcing that Andrew McNally is transferring to UW. Now, last season at Kent State, he won a MAC championship at 174 pounds. McNally is a 3-time NCAA qualifier and has won 118 matches in his career. The Packers have made some changes to their offseason schedule. The big one, they've moved their mandatory minicamp up to run from June 8th through June 10th instead of originally scheduled dates June 15th through June 17th. Now, because it is mandatory, players can be fined for not attending, and that's something to watch for during this feud between Aaron Rodgers and the Packers front office. Jerry Keller and Steve Stricker playing in the region's tradition tournament on the Champions Tour. And the Wisconsin boys were playing well. Name somebody better than Steve Stricker at chipping, excuse me. I don't think you can. This one, an absolute beauty. The Edgerton native would tap in for birdie. He started his day with back-to-back chirpers and is 7 under, tied for first. Jerry Kelly was just as good. He birdied 3 of his first 6 holes and sits 7 under, also tied for first. Cole Caulfield is really good at hockey. In his last 4 games, the former Badger has scored 3 goals, including 2 game winners in overtime for Montreal. But the game of hockey isn't all he excels at. Since joining the Canadiens, Caulfield has been perfecting his stand-up comedy game.
What kind of shorts do clouds wear? Thunderwear. Which is faster, hot or cold? Hot because you can catch a cold.
Gary, there's some free material for you.
Don't give up your day job, Call. Well, temperatures right now are starting to cool off. 49 in Madison, already in the 40s to our north and east. Freeze warnings in effect north of the Dells. Frost advisories south of there through early tomorrow morning beginning at midnight. Look for a low tonight in Madison of about 32. High tomorrow 56 with some afternoon clouds. Shower chances south of Madison Saturday night into Mother's Day Sunday. Then a warm up next week. Some shower and thunderstorm chances by the end of next weekend.
Thanks for joining us.